Welcome back inside the John Book Fieldhouse, the 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship. Falcons and the visiting MSOE Raiders. You know it's a big deal when they bring up a couple of rows of fold-up chairs, put them baseline. Not many seats to be had here inside. A jam-packed John Book Fieldhouse. John, this atmosphere is second to none.
It's going to be an awesome game here. I mean, two great teams who basically kind of snuck into the tournament, but you got to love this atmosphere for a championship game.
Again, I think the best part is this was expected to be the tournament championship last year. Both teams finished tied for first last year during the course of the regular season. Held back when the number one seed hosted both the semis and the championship round, and so MSOE hosted. Falcons also put in a semi. Both got upset, and all of a sudden you had an Aurora Illinois Tech championship from MSOE, won by Aurora, who had won back-to-back tournament titles, but now here a year later, go figure, MSOE predicted to finish first. They finished instead, tied for fifth, had to win their final regular season game essentially to get into the tournament, and here they are in the championship with back-to-back road tournament victories. For the Falcons, I'm not sure they thought they'd be back here after they left here Tuesday victorious, but able to take care of business on Thursday. Got some help with MSOE knocking off Benedictine, and now this place is rocking here at Lakeside for the Falcons and Raiders. Before we check out tonight's start of those, we will pause. We honor America as the Concordia Pep Band plays our national anthem. About to meet for the 80th time, all time, getting back to 1981. Falcons lead with 58 victories to 21 defeats. They've won 3 straight, 6 of the last 7, 21 and 13 here in NACC, having won 3 straight over the Raiders in this gym. Last MSOE win over the Falcons back on January 31st, 2019, 85-68, and then last time they won here, January 4th of 2017, 65-54. A trip to the NCAA tournament on the line. Selection Monday early afternoon. The winner of this game will find out their destination for next weekend and the NCAA tournament. Falcons want to get back to the big dance for the fourth time. First time since 2015. MSOE won NCAA tournament appearance back in 2003. We are ready to go. Glad to have you along on this Saturday night in Mequon. Falcons, their home white. MSOE, their away red. Ball in the air, and the Falcons control the opening tip.
And let's see what Concordia can do here early on the first set. Honestly, you're probably going to look to get it to your hot hand in Jordan and see if he can't continue from his performance against WLC.
Absolutely took over the game, especially down the stretch. 34 of his points came in the second half. Keller giving the Falcons a 2-0 lead.
And there's Jers setting up the big man again, the all-time leader in assists in a season, doing it again.
He's averaging 7.1 assists a game, tops in the conference, third in the nation. Lake George there defensively. He has been consistent when it comes to his defense. He's starting to pick up even more so on the offensive end.
And probably what you're going to see from Concordia against Kermsey is a lot of face guarding so he can't get on the three-point line.
A carry here against Petrov. I don't know if I've said it already, but I'll say it again if I have. It is loud in here.
And that's what you want for a home. Concordia got a home game in the NACC championship game. Probably not what they expected, but it's so happy to be at home. And they're 9-2 at home. And they love playing in front of this crowd.
2 home losses against Lakeland and against Illinois Tech. Both teams had to shoot near lights out to come away with victories here. Tough scoop layup for Zietlow, and the rebound for Petrov. On the Raiders push, Petrov finds an opening and takes it right to the bucket to tie the game at 2.
And that's his game. He does a great job of attacking the rim. It's pretty much him and the Kermsey show offensively for MSOE.
Yeah, those two combined average about 32 of the team's 74-75 a game. Jers! This time he's the recipient of a pass from Brandon Keller.
That was a great dive cut and a great find by Keller. Kind of in no man's land when he left his feet, but Jers a very timely cut.
Petrov. Here's Travis Ballard. Vanslow. Off the curl. A 3-ball well off the mark for Matt Kermsey.
And MSOE love to do that. They love getting Kermsey off screens.
Jers hangs. Unable to finish with the left hand. Rebound there for Deontay Vanslow out of West Dallas Central, a former West Dallas Central Bulldog. Nearly 2 minutes gone by here in the first half. And the dump off there for Gabe Ware. And we mentioned he's coming off a strong showing. How about 23 points? Although every one of his field goal makes an attempt with 3-pointers going 6 and 9. Game tied at 4.
And if I'm Concordia, they got to do a better job of moving the ball. A lot of one-on-one offense early. I want to see him move it as a team.
Well, Johnson, good defense there. And from Deontay Vanslow, but he got a little too aggressive, a little too handsy. And Vanslow picks up what's going to be his first, and the first on MSOE.
And Concordia, again, they really pride themselves on moving the ball as a team, and hopefully they can get it in a little bit. A little too much isolation ball here early. Let's see if they can't do it together here as a team.
How about a couple of early MSOE substitutions? Sammy Lynn, Josh Herzog sub in. So the foul against Vanslow, the inbound here for Keller. Want to find an opening. Trying to force over 2. MSOE looking to push.
That was great defense by Travis Ballard there, just staying strong and staying tall.
Game even at 4. 17-15 to go here in the first half.
And MSOE, they love doing this with their bigs and working Kermsey off screens, a little inside-out game, but a tough shot there from Lynn.
Yeah, too strong, and now Lake George up strong. Cannot finish. Coming over, did Ballard to contest, but there's a putback. And Jordan Johnson able to score on what is his first field goal attempt of the game.
And one thing to point out as this game goes along, Concordia is going to want to play an up-tempo transition game. MSOE a little bit different. They want to work the clock and try to keep this game in the 70s. So we're going to see what actually turns out by the end of this one.
This MSOE team, though, no stranger to competitive games, a number of close games throughout the course of the season. They come in having won 3 straight after losing 5 of 6. And again, they saw their tournament lives on life support going down the stretch. Battle the offensive board and the putback to tie this game at 6.
And that's one thing that MSOE has been just known for, is just offensive rebounding. They're big at a lot of different positions, so can Concordia keep them off the glass?
Nice spoon feed by Jers. And on the inside, Keller getting hammered.
And that's Jers' game. I mean, if he can create for his teammates, that's where Concordia's at their best. Him off pick and roll and creating and trying to get the best up in front, especially for Keller in the post.
You see MSOE, it's a revolving door substitutions early, keeping fresh legs in this game with both Petrov and Ware quickly back onto the floor among the changes for Coach Miller. Lake George has the spacing, 3-ball not there. 3-pointers came up in the Falcon favor the first time these teams got together. That game was here in which the Falcons had 8, MSOE had just 3. Petrov at Lakeland on Tuesday had a 14-point showing with 11 rebounds for his first double-double. That's short for Herzog.
And here's where Concordia wants to get it in transition.
Keller able to recover. And the offense resets. Plenty of time to work with. Jers, nice spin move. Dumped it off to Keller. Up strong, using the window. Rebound batted around and controlled by the Raiders.
This is where Petrov's really good in transition.
Herzog, nice find inside. Lynn, a couple of shot fakes. Blocked to the backside by Johnson. Johnson coming in 5th on the team in rejection. Zietlow cannot hang on. Raider ball.
And one thing Concordia really likes to do is having their defense work for offense. Didn't quite work there.
Media timeout with 15-16 left here in the first half. All even at 6 here inside the John Book Fieldhouse. It's the 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship on the Falcon Athletic Network. Matt Mendel alongside John Winter back inside the John Book Fieldhouse, even at 6 points apiece. First media timeout implemented here in NACC tournament play, so some extra timeout, so to speak, for the coaches to settle their troops down. And gotta believe for the Falcons or MSOE, so much energy early on, and now, okay, media timeout over. Now you start to settle down. It's basketball again. You know, the first few minutes or so, it's hard not to feed off this energy and maybe get a little too hyped. Now you go back to playing your style.
Especially it being a championship game, you know, adrenaline's pumping in your system. These first couple of minutes have been a little rough, but let's see if both teams can't settle in.
And you see the bottom of your screen, the fans standing. Been this way so far through the first almost 5 first-half minutes. Petrov fakes one way, goes the other, but ran into a teammate. Now turns, shoots, and hits. And MSOE, their first of the game at 8-6. They've started the game now 4-9 from the feed.
Well, and one thing to note for Petrov in his last two games against Concordia, both 20-point performances. He's a nice player.
Absolutely. Keller unable to finish. Good-looking save. On the push here by Sammy Lynn. Lynn out of Woodland Hills, California. Now Keller to Jers. Johnson asking for the ball, receiving the pass. Looking to go to work here against Matt Kermsey, the matchup that we've been waiting to see. Johnson, tough shot, and the rebound after the box out. Again for the Raiders. Petrov cuts in, gets a step up, and takes it right to the cup.
And that's his game. In that semi-transition game, really getting to the cup, he attacks the rim well.
And I would tell you, he's been struggling lately. Only one time in the last 4 games he has scored in double figures after 15 consecutive double-figure scoring showings. Jers with an answer. Petrov coming right at the Falcon defense. Here's Kermsey now. Lake George there for the rejection. 3-on-1. Jers pulls up for 3. And a long rebound tracked down by Sam Lynn, but he's out of bounds. The Falcons will catch a break. Right now down by 2. And Grant Karsten into the Falcon 5. He scored 12 points Tuesday in the first round victory against Illinois Tech.
And one thing that Karsten does well, and when he comes in off the bench, shooting threes. He's 6 of 9 in this NACC tournament from downtown. Can he continue that shooting?
Johnson leads and hits. 4 points for Johnson, game tied at 10. 13:35 to go first half.
And MSOE offensively, they like to run a lot of ball screens and a lot of screening away, especially for their shooter, Matt Kermsey. But let's see what they can do here offensively.
See Ty Michalowski into the game for MSOE. Vanslow left it short. Nice follow through though, the putback from Ty Michalowski. He's playing in his 15th game, his season debut on January 4th against Lakeland. Lake George, heck of a move, finishing around Gabe Ware.
And that's Lake's game, I mean, getting downhill and attacking the rim.
Tied at 12, but again, here comes Kermsey on the attack. The putback again from Michalowski. 3 looks, Michalowski gets the bucket, plus the foul. Battling on the inside along with Gabe Ware, a teammate. Now an and one opportunity for Ty Michalowski.
And that was just, that's heart right there. That's heart and hustle on the offensive rebound. Concordia couldn't block him out there and get him out of the way. And actually a little bit surprising, the MSOE is playing a little bit of up and down game.
Michalowski held scoreless in back-to-back. 0 for 3 in 23 total minutes so far in the NACC tournament. Able to complete the and one. Now substitution brings Travers Ballard back in for the Raiders. Fouled against Calgary's first, and the first on Concordia.
And as we look at this game, I think both teams are actually pushing the pace more than I expected, especially in MSOE. Let's see who breaks first. I mean, especially in transition, both teams want to get out. It looks like they want to get on and run tonight, which I'm all for.
Well, I'll tell you, three-point shooting is not either team's strengths. Jers with the and one. Both can make three-pointers, but neither one relies on that three-point shot. Here comes an old-school three-point play. Foul going against Josh Herzog, his first, and number 3 on the Raiders. This to tie the game yet again with 12:33 left here in the first half. And Jers completes the and one. He came in shooting 74% from the free throw line.
Let's see if MSOE can get Kermsey off some screens here and maybe get him a look to get him going. He was cold in their first meeting, only scoring 9 points.
Traveling violation against Gabe Ware. The Falcons take over, tied at 15. First time these teams got together, MSOE got off to a nice start here. Cooled off dramatically, and the Falcons were able to put themselves in the driver's seat. A little more back and forth in the second half in Milwaukee about 11 days later. Nice find, 2 points, Braden Persinger.
The big man, a little pocket pass from the big fella.
He did not play in the first round game on Tuesday, played 8 minutes on Thursday in the semis at Wisconsin Lutheran. Ballard able to tie the game.
You're gonna have to live with that if you're Concordia. I mean, a guy who's 6'6" shooting a 15-footer, you're gonna have to live with that.
Ballard with 10 points in each of the first 2 meetings against the Falcons, tying the game at 17. Johnson, his jumper, and a battle for the board. You have Alex Antoni into the game for Concordia. Tied at 17 in this NACC tournament championship. MSOE in a NACC tournament final for the second time in program history. Ballard again. Again, it's good. Almost a carbon copy what we saw in the previous possession.
And Matt, that's a staple from Coach Miller. That's a little dive and replace with their 2 big men hitting the roller and then having that opposite guy dive right for a 15-foot jump shot. That's a staple in MSOE's offense.
They've had some quality big men over the years come through this program. Here's Jers attacking, finishing, plus the foul.
And I really like to see I love what I'm seeing from Jers right now. He's playing aggressive. He's not playing timid. He's playing like this is a championship game, and he got to the rim looking for another 3-point opportunity.
Media timeout following the second foul against Josh Herzog. Game tied at 19. Jers will get the and one opportunity when we come back. 11:04 left here in the first half. Game tied at 19. The 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship on the Falcon Athletic Network. Trying to find more fold-up chairs that set up behind the one hoop. About 3 or 4 rows deep now. They're about 2 or 3 rows deep up here in the mezzanine next to us. Not a seat to be had, and starting to run out of standing room as well.
You gotta love that. This is a bid for the NCAA tournament. Why wouldn't you want a packed house?
Foul before the immediate timeout. A second foul against Josh Herzog, and now it is Jared Jers looking to complete the and one. And the Falcons see it go out, but an offensive board for Persinger. A deep 3 for Johnson. And a long rebound tracked down by Deontay Vanslow.
And you like the effort you're seeing from the senior from Concordia, Braden Persinger, early, getting minutes and making an impact.
Kermsey on the handoff. Yeah, Petrov out there with Ware. Ballard and Vanslow for the 5 that started the game for MSOE on the floor. And the hook goes for Gabe Ware.
I mean, he did have a season-high 23 in his last game against Benedictine, and he's a nice player. I mean, he's going to use his size, especially against a smaller guard in the post.
He has scored in double figures back-to-back here in the NACC tournament. Had 11 in the opener against Lakeland. Takeaway here for Matt Kermsey, the former Port Washington Pirate. Petrov.
Here comes another dive into place here.
As MSOE gets another half-court offense.
Better job there defensively there. They just switched that for Concordia.
Kermsey beyond the halfway point here in this first half. Vanslow attacking. Boy, MSOE's had some good looks, some bad breaks. 2-point game. Both teams shooting around 45% as Johnson is fouled, trying to get around Michael Petrov.
And that's a tough matchup for anybody. George Johnson is just such a fantastic offensive player. So many different moves. You saw him in the post-up range, pick and roll. Very prolific scorer.
I think what gets me about Johnson every time is you look down and you think, okay, he's got 6-7 points. Pretty soon he's got 20, up to 30. I mean, he makes it look so effortless. He's so effective, but he's not a ball hawk. I mean, he picks his moments to take over games, but he's also a heck of a passer.
And that's what you love to see in a guy who can score.
Here is Johnson. That last foul going against Petrov, his first, and team foul 5 against the Raiders. 5-1 MSOE in the team foul statistic. 2-point Raiders lead. 9:25 to go first half. Petrov attacking and scoring right at Alex Antoni.
And that's a tough switch for Concordia. Usually they don't switch their high ball screens with their big, but they did there, and Petrov took advantage of it.
8 points now for Petrov on 4 for 4 shooting. Johnson started the game 2 for 5 from the field. Lost it. Kermsey the other way. And he will go to the free throw line off the Falcon foul against Grant Karsten. Making him earn those 2 points.
And it's interesting to see how fast MSOE is actually playing right now. I mean, usually they're a team that likes to work the shot clock, likes to work offense, but they're actually playing at a pretty good pace. And I just wonder, because that's what Concordia wants to play.
That's what they wanted to do.
That's what they want to do. So I'm just surprised that MSOE is running, but right now it's working with the 23-19 lead.
Kermsey off the first foul against Karsten, team foul 2. He is a 76.2% free throw shooter at 109 for 143.
And one thing with Kermsey, I mean, as a shooter, he was struggling a little bit offensively, but a great way to kind of get your touch back, get your feel, get to the free throw line, find your shot a little bit. And that's one way to do it as a shooter, as he's going to check out, and in comes in Josh Herzog.
9:01 to go here in the first half. A 6-point MSOE lead at 25-19.
If I'm Concordia here, I want to run a set that I know that I'm going to get a great look, because they really could use a bucket here.
Andrew trying to deliver that bucket. Crash of the boards. Keller, tough angle, hauled in by Sammy Lynn.
Good effort there by Keller, but a tough angle with that little reverse hook. It's a tough shot for the big guy.
And Lynn is fouled. Both teams so far with 16 points in the paint.
And that's what both teams want to do. I mean, they're teams that want to score in the paint. They've both struggled from the three-point line, so you can't rely on that. Especially in a tournament game where physicality is going to be something there. You want to try and get to the paint and then eventually get to the free throw line.
Into the game for MSOE is Steve Dillard. His first appearance at the finale of the regular season last week at Marion. So going deep to the bench here in this championship is Coach Miller. 6-point game. That stays down for Petrov. The last Falcon foul went against Zietlow, his first and team foul 3. 8-point MSOE lead.
And again, we talked about it again, points in the paint. Again for Petrov.
Elgin struggled to some degree on Thursday. 18 points in the paint, allowed 30 to Benedictine. Zietlow, there's the Washington Falcon bucket.
Now Concordia, Zietlow got a good look there, but to me, they're playing a little too much one-on-one basketball. I'd like to see them play a little bit more as a team and move it a couple of times.
A team that comes in middle of the pack when it comes to assists. And there's a 3-point field goal knocked down by Travis Ballard. He came in shooting 13 of 40 from downtown.
And when your big guy can step out there and hit that 3-point shot, that's a nice little, nice thing to have in the arsenal.
Nice putback by Lake George plus the foul.
And Lake George, something that he's very good at is being active on the offensive glass and getting a much-needed putback in a bucket for Concordia.
Short breather, about to sub back in. Jordan Johnson averages 35.1 minutes a game. Second foul against Sammy Lynn, team foul 6. Media timeout with 7:33 left here in the first half. 30-23, MSOE plus 7. You're tuned to continuing coverage of the 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship on the Falcon Athletic Network. Back inside the John Boone Fieldhouse, a 30-23, 7-point MSOE lead, but an and one coming up here for Lake George. And again, he's picked it up on the offensive end, especially as of late. Number 5 in scoring, 4th in the team in rebounding, 2nd in blocks, 2nd in steals. He is playing like a senior who's looking to keep his career going.
And that's what you love to see out of a senior. A guy at Lake George has really battled since his freshman year, working his way in and out of the lineup. And now it's awesome to see him as a senior. And in his past 2 games in the playoffs, had 16 against Illinois Tech and 11 versus WLC. Averages 9 a game, but if he can score, that's when the Falcons are at their best.
52% free throw shooter. Cannot convert, but Keller, the offensive board, and lost it going up. Lake George still battling for it. Pop free. That caught looked like on the leg of Josh Herzog. Lake George, by the way, won a 3 on this Falcon roster with 100 or more free throw attempts on the year. Finding ways to get to the line. So that comes into play in this final. 7-point MSOE lead. Vanslow. Here's Herzog. Lynn with Kermsey. Thought about the deep 3, now looking to attack. Kermsey in the game. He's 0 for 4 from the field. And Lake George trying to take it away from Lynn, commits the foul.
And that's a tough one if you're Concordia. I mean, you got him down with 2 on the shot clock, and you pretty much bail him out there with a tough slap, and now the clock gets set to 20.
Team foul 4. Remember, at one point it was 5-1 MSOE in the team foul statistic. Now it's 6-4 MSOE.
Here's where MSOE is good out of their horn sets. Coach Miller loves to run horns and get 3s for Kermsey.
But a travel will take away what could have been an open look. Turnovers, 5-4 MSOE.
And that's something that'll hurt you as a team. You get a good look for Kermsey, trying to get it going, and one too many little happy feet there on the catch.
That's going away in the background. Zito trying to cut backwards, and MSOE takeaway. Vanslow, Lake George on the block. Vanslow on the kick out. Herzog bypassing the 3. About to say though, I was surprised to see in the background, there's like a Steve Urkel sighting on one of the signs. It's a old 90s reference. It's Ballard. As Steve Urkel would say, did I do that? Well, Ballard just did that. He scores. And Ballard in double figures with 11. He's 5 for 5 from the field. Pitroff is 5 for 5 from the field as well. Those 2 combined have 21 of the team's 32. Goodness. 9-point Raider lead. Lake George attacking. Around the defense, throws up, scores 2 more. And Lake George now with 6.
And that's what you love to see out of Lake. Don't settle for the 3-point shot. Get to the rim, get where you're best at, get downhill. Nice finish at the rim.
Now looking for a defensive stop and a kick ball against Zito. Right now MSOE is shooting 52% from the field.
And one thing that I noticed there with Concordia is they switched that screen. And if I'm MSOE, if they're going to switch a guard on the Sam Lynn, I want to take advantage of that each and every time. That's what Concordia looked like they did there. I don't know if there's a miscommunication there, but if I'm MSOE, I want to take advantage of that switch and post up.
Among a couple of MSOE changes, Ware back on. Right now, breather for Kermsey. See out there, Cam Mitchell for the first time, the sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina, and an offensive foul is going to go against Lynn.
Zietlow stepped in front there, got out of the restricted area, took a nice charge, and that's what you got to do. Take a charge on the big guy.
That's already 3 on Lynn. So his third and team foul 7. Check see Will Bush into the game now, the sophomore from Waterford. He has been scorers in the last 6 games, so more of a presence than an offensive threat. He's not got a single field goal in those 6 games. Johnson hanging, shooting, banking. His jumper, bank it in, and the Falcons are down 5.
And Ware just kept giving ground, and Jordan's going to take advantage of that each and every time. Using the window there, it's open.
The bank open after hours, a nice slip. Well, you'd always say it doesn't take field goals, doesn't take many shot attempts. Well, you can't bypass that open look. Will Bush all alone for 2. Will Bush, it's only his 43rd shot attempt on the year. Nice find, but got away from Zelo. Keller, couple of shot fakes, using the window as well.
And here's one thing that Concordia's doing a fantastic job. They're working the ball, they're playing as a team right now, and they're battling to get back into this game.
Well, you said it, getting away from that one-on-one style of play. Ballard, rebound Keller.
And you're going to live with that as a 15-foot jumper from Ballard.
I'll tell you, the way this first half has gone, a rare miss for MSOE, it feels like anyways. Here's Johnson attacking, hanging, had deflected and contacting an MSOE foul.
That's a good take by Jordan. I mean, he's a fantastic free throw shooter, and if he can get to the line, maybe find his rhythm a little bit here from the free throw line.
Ballard picking up his first, 8th foul. Johnson goes to the free throw line, 88% free throw shooter, 4th in the conference and 27th in the country. So Johnson with an opportunity to make this a 3-point game. 4:08 to go here in the first half.
And how can you not love this? A great battle here in the NACC championship game. Great atmosphere. It's just something. And we've been talking about this, on the commercial breaks. And what an awesome atmosphere it is. The fans are standing. Everybody's into it. It's really exciting to be here.
This potentially is it. So both teams laying it all on the line. Could be it. Both playing for an opportunity to celebrate on Selection Monday and find out whether the season could be extended come next weekend for the NCAA tournament. Johnson goes 1 for 2. Falcons start the game. They have themselves I'll make that now currently 2 of 5 from the free throw line.
And MSOE running again that dive and replace with their bigs.
Nearly worked there for Michalowski, who's been active in the first half. Keller being swarmed by a couple of Raiders. Getting out of harm's way. 4-point game.
Here comes a clear out for Jordan.
And an offensive foul. Apparently used the off arm to create some separation. And so for Jordan Johnson, his first team foul 5. 3:41 to go. We are in the first half, a 34-30 MSOE lead. More to come as we continue from the John Blue Playoffs, the 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship on the Falcon Athletic Network. The 5th-seeded MSOE Raiders with road victories against Lakeland and Benedictine to get to this championship game. On top of the 3rd-seeded Falcons, who have beaten Illinois Tech and Wisconsin Lutheran. 34-30, our score, 3:41 left till halftime. MSOE shooting 52% from the field. Falcons about 48.3%. Both teams have 6 turnovers, and right now 18-13 MSOE plus 5 on the glass.
And if I'm Coach Miller here, I bet you money that they just drew up a play for Matthew Kearns. Out of a timeout, they could probably use a bucket to maybe stretch this lead a little bit. I think he might have drawn some for their best player.
Kermsey back on. He's 0 for 4 so far from the feet. Michalowski. Bush now logging some quality minutes. Petrov hits the 14-footer.
And he's feeling it. He is in the zone right now.
6 for 6 with 12 points. After we mentioned, kind of off a little bit. Yeah, he had a double-double in the first one against Lakeland, but looking to have a bigger impact. Petrov went 4 for 7 at 8 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, a stat-stuffing line. Thursday, Johnson hits the 3, and for the Falcons, their first 3-point making 4 tries.
That's a good look for Jordan. Maybe he can get it going here. It's 3 of 7 from the field, but hopefully he can get it going.
And now make it 4 of 8 with that latest. First Falcon in double figures with 10. Petrov
finally missed.
Yeah, first miss. Lake George the rebound. Johnson.
Nice ball screen here.
3-point ball game. Zietlow, Lake George all alone. And Ware brings down the board.
And again, MSOE is pretty much daring Lake to shoot that one.
He comes in shooting about 22-23% from deep. Kermsey driving around 2-0. Second chance up and under, off the window for Ty Michalowski. And a timeout for Coach Miller and the Raiders. They lead 38-33 with 2:14 to go in this first half. I'll mention MSOE. This is their second opportunity to play NACC Tournament Championship. Go back to 2016, number of upsets, number 6 seed. They lost in the final to number 1 Benedictine 83-57. That year, they came here upset number 3 Concordia in the first round, 95-79. For the Falcons, this being their third NACC Tournament Championship appearance. 2015, number 3 seed. They won at number 1 Aurora. Fast forward, 2017, this team has number 3 seed as well. Lost at number 1 Benedictine 93-89. But an opportunity for the first time in the NACC tournament to host. Right now down 5 with the ball.
And if I'm Concordia, they're down 5 with 2 to go. Very easily to be able to come back. Let's see if they can't get a stretcher. Maybe go on a little run and get some going into the second half.
Both teams shooting the ball extremely well, above their seasonal percentages. Johnson, Randall came out defensively, and then another offensive foul as he pushed off. So you better believe that the officials got the memo. Coach Miller may have said something, somebody else may have said something, but certainly that's been a point of emphasis for the officiating crew. That's twice now that Johnson's been called for the push-off for his 2 personal fouls.
And usually Coach Cassidy, what he likes to do is if any time a player gets 2 fouls in the first half, he's going to sit. It's tough right now with only 2 to go, but that's the philosophy they have with their program. And here's MSOE. Something that they really do well is player movement and ball movement.
Petrov. Getting the pass right back. Well off the mark was Kermsey, but the putback not to be. And an offensive goaltending call against MSOE. Basket interference. After you had the combination of Michalowski and Bush on the inside.
And MSOE again battling on the offensive boards. That's their 6th offensive rebound, but they were unfortunate to get the offensive goaltending.
MSOE on the year, plus 3.1 rebounding margin, 4th in the conference. Although you go back to the Benedictine game, minus 11 in the rebounding battle. Here's a traveling violation against Concordia. And George trying to say, hey, wait a minute, how's there not a foul? He got tangled up with Josh Herzog. Minute 19 to go here in the first half. 38-33 MSOE plus 5. For the Raiders, Herzog. Here's Kermsey. Kermsey an uncharacteristic 0 for 6 from the field.
Well, the first time Concordia played, Kermsey only had 9
He did struggle,
points.
yep. You're dead on with that. He had 9 points in that game on February the 4th. Went 4 for 12 from the field. Had 8 rebounds, though. Ballard.
Offensive rebound again, man.
Long rebound. And offensive reset. Shot clock at 15, 43 seconds to go till halftime.
I got a feeling this ball's got to end up in Petrov's hands here.
He has been the offensive answer, although Herzog. Nice opening. Blocked, though, by Zietlow. As Herzog took the bait, Zietlow dared him to make that move just so he can get back into the mix and send it away.
Athleticism and long arms from Joey Zietlow. And there's only 1 point to note here. Only 1 on the timer here on the shot clock.
Inbound here for Petrov. See if MSOE realizes.
It'll be a tough shot.
Yep. And that's going behind the backboard for Kermsey. And that's the kind of first half it's been for him. He has not been all that close, especially from a good distance.
I think coach is going to call timeout and see if they can't drop something to get a good look here to close out the half.
So 27.5 seconds to go here in the first half at 38-33. MSOE up 5. Right now, Raiders shooting 50% from the field. Falcons at 48.4%. Jordan Johnson has 10 points. Jared Durst with 9. He was aggressive, especially early. MSOE has 2 in double figures. Michael Petrov with 12. Travis Ballard with 11. Those two are a combined 11 of 14, making up for the fact that Kermsey's 0 for 6.
And one thing to point out, I mean, early, both teams are getting into the free throw line, but of late, I mean, there's only been 8 total free throws attempted, 3 of 3 for MSOE, 2 of 5 from Concordia. It seemed like there's going to be a lot more free throws, but both teams just weren't able to get to the line of late.
Well, you mentioned a moment ago the offensive rebound.
Yes.
MSOE right now is +7 in second chance scoring. Both teams at 26 points in the paint. So a couple of numbers that jump out as we near halftime.
A little full court pressure here from MSOE just to slow down Concordia.
Zietlow. Shot clock turned off.
I think MSOE switched to a zone here. A good adjustment because the coach was going to drop a man play. Coach Miller switched to a zone.
Zietlow with 5 to shoot. Zietlow on the kick to Jers. Has to put it up. Jers step back, and that will do it for one half of play in this NACC Tournament Championship. MSOE on the road again. Again, they find themselves in a must-win scenario as they have now for the last week plus. On top of the Falcons, 38-33. We'll come back to the John Book Field. We'll take a look at the first half numbers. A trip to the NCAA tournament on the line on this Saturday. And you're tuned in to the continuing coverage of the 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship on the Falcon Athletic Network. Back inside the John Book Fieldhouse here on the Concordia University of Wisconsin campus in Mequon. Halftime in this 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship. The 5th seeded MSOE Raiders on top of the 3rd seeded Falcons, 38-33. Checking out the first half statistics. MSOE shooting 47.2% from the field, 1 for 4 from beyond the arc, doing most of their damage on the inside. They're 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Falcons are shooting 47% from the field, 1 of 6 from beyond the arc, 2 for 5 at the charity stripe. Rebounding at 23-14 MSOE, including 10 to 5 in the offensive glass. Both teams have 7 assists, 8-7 Falcons in turnovers, 4-1 MSOE in steals, 5-1 Falcons in blocks. 3 of those blocks belong to Lake George. 8-6 MSOE in points off turnovers. Both teams have 26 points in the paint. 11-4 MSOE is +7 in second chance score. Neither team with a fast break point. 9-2 MSOE's bench +7. 8 ties, 3 lead changes. MSOE's biggest lead has been 9. Falcons up by as many as 2. They led for all of 2 minutes and 17 seconds in that first half. 8-0 MSOE run, a 5-0 Falcon run at one juncture. Individually, MSOE has gone deep. They've played so far 11. Deontay Evangelo, 0 for 4 from the field, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, 1 foul. Gabe Ware, 4 points, 2 for 2 shooting with a rebound, an assist and a turnover. Travis Ballard, 11 points, 5 of 7 shooting. He's back in double figures for the 20th time, 4th time in the last 6 games. He's also 1 for 1 from 3-point range, 4 rebounds, a block, and a foul. Michael Petrov, though, has been a scorer, 12 points on 6 of 7 shooting. Missed his own field goal attempt, was a 3-pointer. Couple of rebounds, 1 assist, a turnover. Matthew Kermsey, 2 points and 0 for 6 shooting, 0 for 2 from 3-point range, 2 for 2 from the free throw line with 4 rebounds, 1 assist, a turnover, 2 steals. Sammy Lynn 0 for 2 from the field, a couple of rebounds, 3 turnovers. He's had 3 fouls, been limited to 8 minutes and 9 seconds off the bench. Josh Herzog 0 for 2 from the field, 1 rebound, 1 assist, a steal, 2 fouls. Ty Michalowski's been a spark off the bench. 7 points on 3 for 5 shooting, 1 for 1 from the free throw line with 4 rebounds. Steve Dillard making a rare appearance, 64 seconds played. No stats. Cam Mitchell, he played even 2 minutes. No stats. Will Bush, 1 for 1 from the field, 2 points, 1 rebound. Falcons have played just 8 so far. Lake George, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, 3 blocks, 1 foul. Brandon Keller, 4 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, a turnover, 1 foul. Jared Jers, 9 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 3 turnovers. Joey Zietlow has 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, a block, 1 foul. Jordan Johnson, 4 for 8 from the field. He has 10 points, couple of rebounds, 1 assist, 4 turnovers, 1 block, 2 fouls, both on the offensive end. Grant Karsten, no stats but 1 foul in 8 minutes and 11 seconds. Braden Persinger, 2 points, 1 for 1 shooting with 1 rebound in 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Alex Antoni, no stats but 1 rebound, 1 assist in 3 minutes and 50 seconds. At the break, MSOE 38, Falcons 33. MSOE looking for their first conference tournament championships, winning the Lake Michigan Conference back in 2003. Only time they qualified for the NCAA tournament. Falcons looking for their second NACC tournament championship, trying to get back to the NCAA tournament for the 4th time, first time since 2015. Second half coming up next. You're tuned into the 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship on the Falcon Athletic Network. To the second half we go here inside the John Book Fieldhouse alongside John Winter, Matt Menzel high atop the John Book Fieldhouse inside a packed house for this 2020 NACC Tournament Championship. Right now the 15th Raiders, they're playing their 4th consecutive game on the road. And guess what? Looking for their 4th consecutive road victory with the 3rd seeded Falcons in this final 38 against 33. And John, your assessment of the first half?
Well, for MSOE, the thing that jumps off the page, 11 second chance points. I mean, that's really what's helped them build this 5-point lead. For Concordia, the stat that jumps out to me, 8 turnovers. The 8 turnovers has been a big deal. Hopefully Concordia can get playing back to what they can do, playing team basketball, and come back from this 5-point deficit.
Yet when you look at points off, turnovers not a big story yet developing in that area. 8-6 MSOE plus 2, but I guess in a 5-point game, every point critical. Faster pace to that first half. That's what the Falcons wanted to do. They wanted to up the tempo. Right now, MSOE's been able to hold their own. Vanslow attacking to start this second half. Ballard looking for a 3-second violation, but instead they get a traveling violation against Travis Ballard. And so MSOE with their 8th turnover.
Extending the man a little bit is Coach Miller to try and slow him down and use a little bit of clock bringing the ball up the court.
Jared Jers finding Jordan Johnson. Trying to find Lake George. Instead, Zietlow comes up with it, and Zietlow makes it a 3-point game.
And Zietlow's going to be a huge factor here in this second half. Little cold, little unknown in the first half. Let's see if he can't pick it up in the second half and score some points.
I also want to point out, as Pitchoff goes to work, open look for Gabe Ware, that right now Johnson has 10. He had 11 points at halftime Thursday. I'm not saying he's going to go off for 45, but he took over in that second half. Johnson to Lake George. And Lake George makes it a 1-point game.
And one thing that I like right now, Concordia, attack mode from the start of this second half.
They have 30 points in the paint. MSOE with 26 in the lane. So the first 4 out of halftime belong to the home team. Kermsey, a 3-ball. And the rebound for Jers. He'll give him that shot all day.
Kermsey a little cold tonight.
Yes, he is. Zietlow. And the Falcons have taken a 1-point lead. They score the first 6 out of halftime of the 30-second timeout for Coach Miller.
And how about it? Coming out of second half, it was 38-33. And now Concordia guns a-blazing here to start, and Coach Miller needed a timeout to gather the troops a little bit.
Going right at the MSOE defensive double as a media. 18-23 left here in the second half. 39-38. Falcons up by 1. You're tuned into the 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship on the Falcon Athletic Network. Falcons throw the first punch here in the second half. They score the first 6 out of halftime. Erase a 5-point halftime deficit, now lead 39-38, 18-23 on the second half game clock. Balanced attack. Again, the Falcons not going all that deep in. They have played 8. Number of players stepping up, and again, going right at the MSOE defense. 32 Falcon points in the paint.
And the crowd is alive here inside the R. John Booth Fieldhouse.
Early MSOE timeout. Ware out of the timeout. Cannot answer. Lake George, the rebound in an MSOE foul is going to go against Ballard.
And we're kind of seeing MSOE go through what Concordia struggled with. A little too much one-on-one.
Sammy Lynn back down. He's playing with 3 personal fouls, taking the spot of Gabe Ware. Ware, along with Kermsey, a couple of fifth-year seniors, they bring that experience.
And that's something that you need, a little adversity here for MSOE to start the second half. As a senior, you got to gather the troops a little bit.
Falcons +1. Their biggest lead has been 2. Zietlow. Foul number 2 against the Raiders.
And I feel like I'm repeating myself again here, but Concordia in attack mode going to the paint.
Well, Zietlow now being rewarded with the attack with a couple of free throws. 3rd foul against Travis Ballard.
And you love the energy from Joey Zietlow. Had 15 minutes there in the first half. Didn't really hear much from him. Only had 2 points in the first half, but here he's all pretty much Concordia scoring to start the second half.
Biggest lead of the game for the Falcons at 3. 41-38. And they come out and they score the first 8 points in this second half.
Couldn't have asked for a better start if you're Coach Cassidy for your team to start this second half.
Vanslow against Jerks. Nearly taken away by Zietlow, who was top of the team in steals. Petrov, 8 to shoot, a deep 3. Barely drew iron, rebound for Jerks. Falcons again looking to pick up the pace. With momentum, Jerks. His pass picked off, and then Vanslow unable to bring it in cleanly, but a nice save into the hands of Kermsey. Sammy Lynn. Vanslow. Near side of the foot finds Lynn, spacing, 3-ball, and this game is tied at 41.
That was better there by MSOE. More than one guy touched the ball. How about it? Little ball movement for an open 3.
And Sammy Lynn, a 20% three-point shooter, coming in at 4 of 20. Making most of the open look. Zietlow unable to answer. Keller the offensive board. Keller up strong. Another MSOE foul on the inside. I'll tell you, Brandon Keller, only a sophomore. The progress he has made from one year to the next, sky's the limit.
But here's the one thing that maybe he can improve on a little bit. Free throw shooting.
Well,
a little tough at the line, but in their win against WLC, went 7 of 11 from the free throw line. On the season, a 40% free throw shooter.
It's the first.
It's tournament time, Matt. He can make his free throws now.
And he's getting plenty of practice. Came in at 45.5%. 42-41. Falcons back up 1 with 16:44 to go.
You can sometimes throw the scouting report out the window. Sammy Lynn hits a 3. He's 4 of 20. Brandon Keller made 2 free throws. It's tournament basketball. Let's play.
And the third time these two teams are getting together in 25 days. How you doing? No one to know. Kermsey. Good pressure, Falcon D into the backcourt, tracked down by Herzog.
And this is Concordia scrambling up. Nice.
Oh, nice find. Oh, a near block there for Zietlow. Instead, he's called for the foul after Ty Michalowski thought he had a, for sure, if not dunk, layup.
Now the ref called a slap and a hit on the head, maybe on the follow throw. Obviously the fans at the booth don't necessarily agree with the call, but that's what the ref called, and that's what you got to go with.
They give the foul to Joey Zietlow. Well, let me see. They may have called goaltending.
Not quite sure what the discussion is here, Matt. Fouls on Zietlow.
I'm not sure what the confusion was. That's going to be a second team foul 1. Michalowski at the line. And Ty Michalowski, he came in shooting 59.1% from the free throw line at 13 for 22. This to tie the game after there were 8 ties and 3 lead changes in the first half.
And Michalowski has only scored 2 points and 4 points in his 2 meetings against Concordia. Now has 7,
which is his high this season. He had 6 as a high 2 times prior to.
Welcome to playoff basketball.
I was going to say, we're not even yet in the month of March.
Nice pass.
Lake George, the 2-hand jam.
A slam-a-jamma for Lake George. Get the crowd on the feet, get them going.
45-43 Falcons. Knocked away, a steal for Zietlow. And taken right back by Herzog. 3-on-2. Kermsey still has not been able to hit a field goal. Put back, Vanslow, able to tie the game at 45. That's his first making 5 tries.
Now we're picking up the atmosphere, picking up the tempo. Now we're really feeling like a playoff basketball game here in the NACC tournament.
MSOE was up 5 at halftime. Johnson from 15. 47-45 Falcons. And a technical foul to Jordan Johnson.
I think Jordan got teed up for a little bit what the folks might call trash talk. Pretty quick on the whistle though.
He has been the victim of some tough calls. 2 offensive fouls, now a T.
I think Coach Cassidy's going to try and get an explanation here and to see maybe what the referee saw. But it's in a tough spot here. I mean, Concordia's making a little bit of a run. Now MSOE gets a couple of free throws in the ball.
And Kermsey hits the first to make it a 1-point game. He's 0 for 8 from the field. 3 points, 3 for 3 from the free throw line with 4 rebounds. Game tied at 47. Plus MSOE with possession. First immediate timeout. Tied at 47. 15-18 to go here in the second half. Back in a moment, you're tuning in to continue coverage of the 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship on the Falcon Athletic Network. 47-47, 15-18 to go here in the second half. A technical foul a moment ago against Jordan Johnson, also his 3rd personal, and so MSOE, thanks to Matt Kermsey, knocking down a couple of free throws. Now it's Raider ball.
We got a tie ball game here, 47-47. Another great contest here in the NACC championship game.
Falcons have won 3 straight, 6 the last 7 against MSOE. Trying to make it 3 for 3 this season. Again, MSOE controlled their own destiny and had to win on the road at Marion to wrap up the regular season and get into the tourney. Won by 5, and then back-to-back road victories get to this final. 5 of their last 6 games set up by 5 points or less. They've gone 4-1 in those tight ball games.
And that just proves they're not new to anything, any close battles.
No sweat.
Battle tested.
Offensive foul away from the ball. Ty Michalowski. So Michalowski will pick up his first. And that's going to be team 4. Being told that officially that technical foul went against Jordan Johnson for talking at an MSOE player. So you call it trash talking, they call it for
Officials
talking
maybe have
at.
a nicer way to put
Yes,
it.
talking at an MSOE player is the definition. Zietlow.
Get the ball to Joey Zietlow and let the man work. He is feeling it here in the second half.
2-point Falcon lead, 14:38 to go, second half.
And the name we haven't heard is Petrov here in the second half.
I'll ask you shall receive. He's got the ball as we speak. Petrov from the pass to Herzog. Drive and kick. Air ball and the 3-ball for Bush. And a steal for Zietlow. He's off to the races. Zietlow. Oh, he got blocked to the backside of an MSOE foul. That's going to go against Petrov. Oh, he was able to get back defensively and contest what could have been a two-hand jam for Joey Zietlow. Zietlow now going to the free throw line off the foul. The second on Michael Petrov, team foul 5. Oh, how high can you fly?
Meet me at the rim, Mr. Matt Menzel.
Jeez.
It's a slam ball out here.
No trampoline required.
Remember those days? Man, was that fun to watch. Good old slam ball. It's like we're watching slam ball out here. Meet me at the rim a little bit.
Dating yourself a little
Dating
bit.
myself a little bit.
So one more here for Zietlow. Falcons up 4, 51-47, 14-18 remaining.
Joey Zietlow keeping his total going here in the second half. Now has 11 for the game. Only had 2 in the first half.
In double figures for the ninth time in the last 10 ball games. Herzog. Here's Petrov. Off the screen, attempted to be set by Michalowski. Lake George getting to the passing lane.
Excellent defense there by Concordia. Keller did a great job off that ball screen, forcing Petrov all the way to the baseline, and help defense was there to deflect it out of bounds. Handoff.
Petrov, 3-ball, count it. And Petrov is 7 for 9 from the field, 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. He's got a game-high 15. Raiders back to within 1.
And that right there is what we call good offense beating good defense every single time. Sometimes you just can't help it.
3-ball, off the mark. El Zietlow on the attempt. Petrov, foul by Lake George. Well, Petrov's starting to come alive here. With 13:24 remaining, we're in half number 2.
And that's a good foul for Lake George. Want to make them earn it from the line. Don't just, no easy buckets, no easy runouts. Make them earn it from the free throw line.
Petrov, 12th in the conference, about 79% from the free throw at 92. 117, he's one of those 2 guys along with Kernsey who've gotten their fair share of free throw attempts. He'll get one more with a chance to tie. Couple of Raider changes. They bring some size with Ballard. Sammy Lynn. Into the game here with Michalowski getting a breather.
And interesting to see MSOE is going a little bit deeper in their bench compared to Coach Cassidy
Yes.
and the Falcons.
1 for 2 goes Petrov. He has scored the last 4 until again he erases what was a 4-point deficit. Game tied at 51, 13-18 to go. Zietlow. Lake George against Lynn. I like the thought process though with Lynn playing with 3 personal fouls. Lynn. Dumping it off. Herzog. Lynn picked off by Zietlow. He dives, he falls, he finds Jers, and Jers will lay it up and leave it short. Rebound hauled in by Michael Petrov.
Great hustle there by Zietlow. Tough little finish for Jers, but you'd like to see him see if he can't finish that with the left hand.
Man, Zietlow making some nice cuts into the passing lane. Herzog. His floater. MSOE is up 53-51. They've scored the last 6.
Herzog getting on the board. He's attacked the paint his first 2 points of the contest.
12 minutes and 15 seconds. Here in the second half, Keller finds an opening. That's closed up though by Ballard, body to body, and Ballard with the foul.
Ballard's wondering what he did wrong. The official said he slid in there and gave him a two-hand shove.
His fourth, team foul 6. So already to the bench goes Ballard. Inbound here for Jers. 53-51 MSOE and a 6-0 run. Deontay Banzlo back in for MSOE.
Same with Jordan Johnson and Persinger. Jordan a little bit time to cool off a little bit from that heated, a little bit of a heated moment. Let's see if he can't come back and get some offense going here for Concordia.
Jers for 3. Johnson had the rebound knocked out of his hands. Banzlo comes away with it. This second half, been a second half of runs on both ends. Push off, nice find inside. I think a beauty for Ty Michalowski, able to create that separation.
Great pass. Antoni was fronting the post, but nobody was there for the help side. If you're going to front the post, obviously you're going to have somebody there on the backside, but not there for Concordia.
8 straight now for MSOE after they were down 51-47. Johnson, he finds an opening, goes up, cannot finish.
Banzlo's done a nice job against Jordan defensively, and that's what he's in there for. He's in there to play defense, not too much of an offensive threat. He's there to play defense on the other team's best player.
Sammy Lynn, 10 straight for the Raiders.
And basketball, Matt, is a game of runs. Concordia started off hot. MSOE is back with their run. It's going to be back and forth here probably to the end.
Jers, Persinger open. Rebound Zelo. 3 point shots have been hard to come by, and Zelo draws a 7th MSOE foul already. So a bonus from here on out. 10:53 to go. A 10-0 run for MSOE has them up 57-51. You're tuning to continue to cover to the 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship on the Falcon Athletic Network. 10:53 to go here in the second half. What an atmosphere here inside the John Booth Field. Cannot say that enough. If you're a basketball fan, this is a great place to be. The 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship. This place rocking, although MSOE right now rocking. They have scored 10 consecutive, erasing a 4-point deficit, and now leading 57-51. But a bonus out of the media timeout. Already the 7th foul against MSOE, the first against Matt Kermsey, and Zelo at the line.
That's going to be something very important for Concordia, especially the way they've been attacking here in the second half. They're going to be in the bonus for the next 10 minutes and 53 seconds. It's going to be very important. Let's see how many free throws they can take advantage of.
Zelo will get another. This Falcon team, we've talked about it all year long. They come in 10th among 12 teams in free throw shooting. But this is a team that they're 6th in free throw makes per game. They're 4th in free throw attempts per game. They get to the free throw line. They've only gotten better, though, as the season's gone along. They went 20 for 28, for instance, against Wisconsin Lutheran on Thursday.
And just so you know, Joey Zelo now leading the Falcons with 13. Only had 2 again in the first half.
Kermsey fouled. Persinger on the contact. That's going to be his first.
And speaking of free throws, Matthew Kermsey 0 of 8 from the field, but 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He is finding a way to get there where he is a fantastic free throw shooter.
And his career, a 76.5% free throw shooter, misses the first.
There's the announcer's kiss of death right there.
Kermsey, a 5th-year senior from Saukville, put only 3 games during the 2015-16 campaign before missing the duration of that season with injury. That was the year in which MSOE was last in the tournament championship. He was on the sideline. Goes 1 for 2, almost popped out. 58-53 Raiders. They have scored 11 of the last 13. 10.5 to go, second half. Jers.
Pin down screen for Jordan.
And Johnson. Nice job there again by Banzlo.
Banzlo has done an excellent job.
Persinger. Still cannot get a 3-point shot to drop. Falcons now 1 for 11 from downtown.
Good look there for Concordia. An open three off a little movement, but couldn't make the shot there for Persinger.
They typically make about 6 threes a game, which is second to the bottom of the conference. They come in fact, ninth at about 32% from three-point range. Sammy Lynn and MSOE is hitting everything.
Sammy Lynn just gave Jordan Johnson a taste of his own medicine. Their little step back baseline J, nothing but nylon.
60-53 MSOE. At one point, the Falcons were up 51-47.
They can't play hero ball. They gotta move it here if you're Concordia.
Shot clock at 10.
Is that gonna be on Lynn?
Well, Persinger and then Lynn in disbelief right now.
They must have, because everybody's happy here on the Concordia side of things.
Think about that. Lynn fouls out with 9:29 to go. So Sammy Lynn is disqualified for the second time this season.
That's a big, if we look back here, this might be a pivotal moment here. Sammy Lynn has been playing very well. So maybe make a mental note there. About 9:30, Lynn checks out of the ballgame with his 5th person.
He came in tied for 5th on the team in scoring, 3rd in rebounding, 2nd in blocks. He loses that inside. And Persinger cannot get the first free throw to drop.
They hit about every part of the rim except for going in.
A 62.5% free throw shooter. Boy, from the Falcons, though, I keep on attacking. That's certainly what built the lead, gave them that extra punch, that spark they needed to start this second half. But also, you look right now, MSOE in a tough spot with 18 fouls against.
And as we noted, basketball being a game of runs, Concordia came out with the first punch. MSOE countered. Let's see if Concordia can't counter with their own to get back into this game.
Michalowski, nice find where, but Michalowski blows it. Vanslow keeping the attack alive. That's a woulda, coulda, shoulda for Ty Michalowski. Petrov, Kermsey, and there's his, I take that back. That looked like an automatic, and he blows it, but he gets the benefit, getting knocked down of the Falcon foul. He cannot catch a break. He could be wide open with 10 seconds to shoot the ball, and he would still miss. That's the kind of night it's been so far, knock on wood, for Matthew Kermsey. Now 0 for 9. Well, that won't count as a field goal against, but would have been 0 for 9. He had 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Hits the first. 6 points, 5 rebounds, 3rd foul against Zietlow.
But one thing, Matthew Kermsey, that you have to give him props for is even though he's 0 of 8 from the field, he's still finding a way to get to the free throw line, still finding ways to impact the game for his team.
62-54. MSOE plus 8. And Tony back on. Here's Johnson. And Johnson against Vanslow. Zietlow up high. Again, Vanslow right there on him. And Zietlow making something happen, but comes up short, rebound. And the Raiders on the push. Petrov, and then Tony stepping up. Kermsey. Good battle inside. Jers and Michalowski. Michalowski with the height advantage. Petrov blows by Antoni and scores 2. Taking advantage of the mismatch, and the Falcons take a timeout. And Coach Cassidy trying to say, hey, wait a minute. You know what? Jordan Johnson got teed up because he was trash talking. MSOE is trash talking. How come they're not getting teed up? 30-second timeout. That's exactly what Coach Cassidy's message right now to the officials is hey, call it both ways.
And you noticed there at that shot clock, Petrov noticed he got the switch, got what he wanted, had the big man Antoni on him, and took it to the rim.
MSOE up 64-54, 8:21 to go in this second half. We'll step aside and tune into the 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship on the Falcon Athletic Network. 8 minutes and 21 seconds left. Half number 2 in MSOE up 64-54. They have scored 17 of the last 20 points in this game. Enjoying right now their biggest lead on the night. Question becomes for the Falcons, yeah, they have 3 pointers in double figures, but where's the scoring going to come from?
And again, we talked about this, we touched on it in the first half. They can't get to one-on-one basketball. That will not win you this game. You have to continue to attack like they did early in this second half. That's how they got the lead early, by attacking and playing as a team. Drifted into a little bit of a hero ball, but now they're starting with a little bit of movement.
Just 9 assists so far and 21 field goal makes. Keller finds an opening, got hammered to the backside. That's going to go against Ty Michalowski. Already, just joining us, Sammy Lynn's been disqualified. That came with 9:29 to go, so starting to test now the size. You look at size on paper, Falcons have 12 players between 6'4" and taller, MSOE, with 7 between 6'4" and taller, 6 between 6'4" and 6'6". Baker for Keller. Anyway, goes in.
That's all that matters, Matt. 1 point counts as 1 point no matter what happens. Backboard, hit all parts of the rim, doesn't matter.
Off the back rim, rebound tracked down by Kermsey. I think that's what was impressive about the current 9-point MSOE lead is the fact that Kermsey's 0 for 8 from the field, but he has 7 points on 7 free throw makes. Michalowski trying to dump it off the Petrov. Lake George trying to take it away. It's off of Petrov. Falcons with a much-needed defensive stop. And again, it's MSOE shooting still 49% from the field. Falcons at 45%.
If I'm Concordia here on offense, again, they're probably going to look at probably a high ball screen here with Keller. Here comes a double ball screen.
Jers. Johnson. Johnson for 3. And he's been
It's a tough shot, man.
off as well. He's 5 of 11 now from the field. Nothing's come easy for Johnson. Great job by Deontay Banzo there defensively. That's been the assignment he has drawn in this game. Foul away from the ball is going to go against Lake George on a hole. For the Falcons, team foul 6. Third against George.
So it looks like both teams are going to be in the bonus here for the next 7 minutes. Concordia's going to be in the double here. MSOE's going to be in the single. So there's probably going to be a lot of free throws coming up here in the next 7 minutes.
MSOE, the third best free throw shooting team in the league, 80th in the country.
Oh, Ed Ware there on a slip. They missed it.
Petrov. Falcons, this becomes an important possession after back-to-back empty trips for MSOE.
Attack, there you go.
Lake George lowering the head, now leans. Force the issue, Zelo trying to take it away with a jump ball, arrow benefiting Concordia.
Good battle there by Zelo to steal a possession there for Concordia. Lake was battling there, but Joey was able to get his hands and get a tie-up.
Right now, looking at the shot clock, I'm going to say that Zelo had possession, so they lose a second. And now another stoppage here. And what's the wait here? Not sure what the holdup is, if somebody was tying their shoe. Either way, the inbound here for Johnson. Keller, a little up and under. Keller leaning, missed. Somehow that hopped over the rim. I thought for sure that one was going to deflect.
A little show and go there for the big boy Keller.
Thought that one was going to.
That thing used every part of the hoop, that's for sure.
Had some English on it.
A little English.
64-57 MSOE.
Here comes a double screen for Kermsey.
Petrov. Michalowski. Michalowski draws another Falcon foul. That's team foul 7. 6:20 to go.
Michalowski, MSOE has done a very nice job. Coach Miller loves to run horn sets, and that's what they've ran a lot of. And then out of that, they do a very nice job of getting pin downs in the post, and that's what Michalowski did. He went to work, battled there in the post, and got to the free throw.
Can I repeat? Michalowski's high in a game this season is 6 points. He has 11 as of right now. Make it 12. He has doubled that production. But he's also 4 for 4 from the free throw. He's added 6 rebounds.
Sometimes the scouting report can lie.
It seems like when the Falcons have lost this season, it's because there's somebody like a Michalowski who's averaging a couple of points a game and just goes off.
Let's see what Concordia can do here and react. They're down by a little bit here. Ooh, tough shot. Oh.
Jers rattles in the triple.
Well, let it fly. They're down 6.
Second three-point make in 13 tries. Herzog, cross-court pass.
They switch.
Petrov into Mikulowski, picked off. Keller jumping in front to steal it.
Let's see if Concordia can get going here in transition. This is where they're really good.
Johnson.
Right now they're probably going to run ball screen here with Jers. Little pistol action with Keller. Good slip.
Keller with the two-hand jam.
And they're down 4. Good pass from Jers. Little two-man game. Send it in your own.
Petrov out there defensively. Grant Karsten. Ware.
Probably going to go one-on-one, little 1-4 flat here for Petrov.
Petrov pulls up, long deuce. Keller brings in the rebound. Jers. Inside of 5 minutes left here in this second half.
They're going to let Jers and Keller, a little two-man game.
Johnson attacking. Johnson, 2-point ball game at 66-64.
Here comes that run again, just like we were talking about.
After MSOE was up 10. They were up 10 with 8:21 left in this half. Shot clock at 10. Petrov banks it in.
Man, what a shot from Petrov. He now has 20.
Jers spinning. Jers leading. Had it altered. Herzog knocking the ball out of bounds.
And one thing to point out here, Matt, especially in the last 4 minutes, you need a guy who can score late clock. And a lot of times that happens here, especially late in the game. Obviously, MSOE has Petrov. Concordia's got Jers, got Johnson. Something to note here as we close here to the end of this game.
Shot clock at 21. Jers fires a 3. But Karsten brings down the board.
Big rebound there for the freshman. Need a good look here for Concordia.
Johnson hanging, shooting, hitting. Tough shot, Jordan Johnson.
That's his game. Little fadeaway jumper baseline. Concordia down 2.
3:40 to go in this NACC Tournament Championship.
What a game here, Matt.
It's not even March yet, but the madness upon us. Ballard left it short, Karsten the rebound.
Good contest there by Keller. Concordia running in transition.
Lake George driving, hanging, shooting. Forced it, rebound, Kermsey.
Good defense there by Ware. Went straight up. Didn't lean. Good defense there.
3:10 remaining. A trip to the NCAA tournament on the line.
And Petrov getting a break here.
Kermsey still out of field goal make. Shot clock's at 6. Herzog has to go with 3, with 2. Herzog missed it, never touched the rim. Rebound. Karsten, but first thing first, a 30-second shot clock violation leads to immediate timeout. 2:48 left in the 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship. MSOE 68, Falcon 66 on the Falcon Athletic Network. 2 minutes, 48 seconds left in regulation. 68-66, MSOE plus 2. They were up 64-54 with 8:21 left in this half. Falcons back to within a couple. Both teams in a bonus. If a jump ball occurs, arrow with MSOE.
And both teams, as we stated here in the second half, both have gone on runs. Early for Concordia, MSOE came back with a run of their own. Concordia's now on a run. What an end here to a championship game and a bid to the NCAA tournament.
Zietlow, Johnson, Jers, Keller, George on the floor for Coach Cassidy. Jers. Here's Johnson. Tie game at 68.
Great backdoor set there by Concordia, drawn up by Coach Kane there at the timeout.
Coach Miller wanted to travel to no avail. Almost a steal. Ballard to Vanslow.
Ooh, tough switch here. Jers is on Ballard down low. I think they're able to switch back.
Kermsey with Petrov back on the floor.
Good denial. That could be over and back.
It is. Falcon ball.
That's what gets it done. Defense wins championships is the old adage. Great defense there by Concordia.
Falcons were in a similar situation just on Tuesday. A game that felt like forever was tied at 63 and eventually able to come away with the victory. Here tied at 68, 2:10 remaining.
Horn set here for Johnson, a little screen and roll.
Falcons looking for their first lead, so they're up 51-47.
Clear out.
Johnson with an offensive foul. Had 4 fouls against Johnson, 3 have been offensive, plus a technical foul.
That's tough. I mean, I thought that was a clean step back. But again, you got to credit Basil. He's been on Johnson the entire game and has stood up to the challenge.
1:55 to go. Kermsey against George. Petrov. And Petrov, partially blocked by George. Taylor comes away with the loose ball.
Good defense there by Concordia. That's why Lake's out there to play defense.
Minute 35 to go, tied at 68. Jers to Zietlow. Jers for 3. And the rebound, Ballard.
Good look. Good look there from Jers.
Minute 20 left in regulation. Timeout MSOE. This will be a 30-second timeout with 1:17 remaining. 68-68 in this NACC Tournament Championship between the Falcons and the Raiders, a matchup that many thought we would see last year for a trip to the NCAA Tournament. Fast forward a year later, again, the number 1 and 2 seed upset in the semis. Here we go. Number 3 Concordia, number 5 MSOE. MSOE trying to get back to the NCAA Tournament for the second time. First time since they won the LMC Tournament Championship in 2003. Falcons want to get back to the NCAA Tournament for the 4th time. First time since 2015. Looking to win the NACC Tournament Championship for the 2nd time. First time since 2015.
And Matt, one thing to look here, Coach Miller has great offensive sets for MSOE. I'm sure he just drew some up here for his team. I wonder who they're going to go with here to get a look.
Kermsey, Ballard, Petrov, Vanslow, Ware on the floor for the red-clad Raiders. George, Zietlow, Keller, Johnson, Jers in the home white for the Falcons. Can work the game clock to a minute or below. Petrov. Ball fake. Petrov, long 2. Gets the bounce. It's 70-68 MSOE.
Shooter's touch.
Jers ties the game.
This is what it's all about here, Matt. Tie ball game under a minute on the timer.
Ballard. Kermsey. Kermsey, offensive foul! Zietlow takes the charge. A 1.1 second differential. Game clock, shot clock, tied at 70 in this NACC Tournament Championship.
Very important note, 31 seconds on the clock, 30 on the shot clock. Concordia can work this down to basically get one look if they want to. So you don't want to go too early. They're probably going to advance it and call timeout.
Second foul against Kermsey. 10th MSOE team foul.
They're going to play it out here, Matt.
Jers. Zietlow.
One would think it's got to be in Jordan Johnson's hands.
Jared Jers, 10 to shoot. Jers with 3, with 2, Jers! And this game is headed to overtime, tied at 70. Falcons battling back from down 10. And this game heads to OT, tied at 70 inside the John Book Fieldhouse.
The way this game has gone, it's kind of fitting that it goes in overtime. Both teams played extremely well. Both teams had their share of runs in the second half. It's been a battle. We got another 5 minutes to decide the winner of this one.
We'll come back with overtime number 1. Chance to go to the NCAA tournament for one of these two ball clubs. 5 more minutes. NACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship on the Falcon Athletic Network. Falcons were down by 5 at halftime. They have battled back from down 10 in the second half. Overtime between Concordia and MSOE for the 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship. Falcons shooting 46% from the field. MSOE at 47%. 18 points for Johnson, 14 for Jers, 14 for Zietlow, 11 for Keller, 10 for George. All 5 starting double figures for the Falcons. Petrov has 22 for MSOE, 13 for Michalowski. Ballard with 11. Sammy Lynn had fouled out. Lake George, the two-hand monster jam plus the MSOE foul. Okay, Lake. He just posterized Travis Ballard, who picks up his 5th. First time he has disqualified from a game this season. He joins Sammy Lynn on the MSOE bench. Again, the team fouls do not reset. 10 plus against MSOE, 8 against Concordia. 4:46 to go in overtime. 72-70 Falcons. Lake George with an and 1. He's 0 for 1 from the free throw line in this game. He has 12 points. He will stay at 12. Rebound for Kermsey, who is still 0 for 8 from the field. We have had 15 ties, 5 lead changes. Michalowski, good ball movement. Kermsey continues, cut that Ware with that miss. Ware is 2 for 5 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3-point range. Jers. Tipped pass to Johnson. Deflected off the hand of Petrov. Johnson, step back, 3 ball. Yes! Where has that been all game? 75-70 Falcons. They score the first 5 in overtime. 3:45 to go. Kermsey. Ware back to Kermsey. Keller there defensively standing tall. Kermsey and a block by Keller. And an MSOE foul. As Lake George got knocked down to the deck.
Concordia getting it done here on the defensive end.
Oh, have the tides turned in this one.
It's just like the start of the second half. Concordia coming out swinging in the start of the overtime.
Second foul against Vanslow. Falcons lead 76-70. Their biggest lead of the game. Prior to, their biggest lead had been 4. 1 for 2, Kermsey the rebound. 76-70 Falcons. 3.5 to go in overtime. Petrov. Fading. rebound, Keller.
Excellent defense there by Keller on the switch. Had a very high contest, forcing Petrov on a tough fadeaway on the baseline.
Lake George. Shot clock at 10.
George has got to get this here goal. High screen and roll, a little double ball screen here for Concordia.
Jers.
Got it.
All alone. Oh! And it rolls off the lip of the rim. Where the rebound?
That's a tough miss. Good take. Got to finish.
Kermsey. Petrov. Inside Michalowski. Missed it next to the hoop. Oh, it's contagious.
Both teams have missed gimmies. A bit of a trade-off there. We miss one, they miss one. All even.
First 6 points in overtime belong to the Falcons.
Here comes high screen and roll with Jers and Keller. Probably Jordan's going to take it here. Eight on the shot clock.
Johnson. And the rebound into the hands of Michalowski.
You could hear the crowd. Everybody wanted that one to go.
Kermsey driving, hitting his first field goal, make of the game. Comes here in overtime. An and one with 2 minutes left in overtime.
That's a huge bucket there. Momentum was shifting to Concordia. Kermsey, a great attack, went into the body of the shot blocker, Keller, scored it off the window, and the old-fashioned three-point play.
He's now 1 for 9 from the field. Second foul against Keller. Kermsey, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. He now has 10 points, the 4th Raider in double figures. 76-73, Concordia. Keller, Lake George. Falcons working the game clock down. Zelo. Lake George trying to tap it out, brought in by Michalowski. .90 seconds left in the first overtime.
Here comes a ball screen for Petrov. Could be going to get Kermsey, yep.
Zelo on Kermsey. Shot clock at 10. Kermsey leans, trying to instigate contact. Zelo battling for the board that's brought in. Here by Jers, pressure on the backside. Lake George slow and getting back up, and an official's timeout is Lake George holding his chin jaw area. 68 seconds left in overtime. 76-73 Concordia.
That was good defense there by Lake. He went straight up, didn't get baited on the pump fake by Kermsey. Tried to do the old Kobe, little pump fake lean in, but George wasn't biting.
Lake George will inbound.
And if you're MSOE, you don't have to foul because you're only down by 1 possession. They really need a stop here. Concordia most likely, probably a high ball screen with Jers and Keller. Probably going to be a pin down as well, a little dive and replace.
Jers. Here's Zelo. Had it knocked away on the backside. Kermsey got enough of the ball to force the turnover. Picked up by Will Bush now to the game.
MSOE doesn't necessarily need a 3.
But they do want a timeout. 45.8 seconds to go. The first 6 points overtime went to the Falcons. Kermsey then with a 3-point play. 76-73. Falcons lead. 45.8 seconds left in overtime in this 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship.
And what a game here. I mean, there's Concordia's up by 3. MSOE has the ball. If I'm MSOE and I'm drawing something up here, I want my team probably going to be a Petrov, probably attacking the hoop because you don't need a 3. You know, there's 45 seconds left. There's 2 possessions based off the shot clock. You don't need a 3. I would try and attack and see if I can't get 2 points, and then you got to play the foul game. For Concordia, defensively, you want to play straight up, right? You want to contest on your 3s. If MSOE draws something up for Kermsey, they got to play it straight up here. What a game. What a game.
By the way, Brandon Keller with a double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds. Double-doubles now, and back-to-back. Thursday was his first double-double since the 29th of January.
And one thing to point out here, Concordia 50 points in the paint. MSOE has 38. Both teams have really been attacking the paint. Both teams kind of struggling from the three-point line. Only 3 makes for each team.
45.8 seconds remaining in overtime here inside the John Book Fieldhouse. 76-73 Concordia.
And the crowd rises to their feet.
This has been an instant classic inside the NACC. One of these teams going to the NCAA tournament. Petrov. What a battle. Ware back to Petrov.
Elevator screen for Crimson. Good defense there by Johnson. Good switch.
Shot clock at 7. Almost a steal by George. Ware, a deep 3. And the rebound hauled in. Johnson has it. Shot clock turned off. MSOE has to foul. Mikulowski fouls Zietlow. 19.8 seconds to go.
Excellent defense there by Concordia. MSOE tried running a horn set for an elevator screen, a staple in Coach Miller's offense. He really likes running that play to get a three-point shot. Good switch by Concordia. And again, they got the stop that they needed. Now they're going to the free throw line to secure a win.
Mikulowski picking up his third personal.
Short.
Zietlow now 6 of 7 at the free throw line.
Now the door is a little bit open there, Matt. They can't quite shut it all the way. Zietlow's got to make this one and make it a 4-point game.
Falcons 13 for 21 as a team. Makes it a 2-possession lead.
Big time. Now Concordia got to get a stop again. MSOE's got to attack the bucket here.
Petrov driving and landed up and in right around Keller. Timeout for MSOE. 13.6 seconds to go at 77-75 Concordia. MSOE now out of timeouts. John, let's go back to the end of regulation. How we got to overtime. Falcons were down 10 with 8:21 left in the second half. Battled back. Petrov able to give MSOE a 70-68 lead with 1 minute left. Jers responded, took it right to the bucket, tied the game at 70. Eventually the Falcons had a chance to win at the buzzer. Jers' shot just off the mark. Falcons came out, scored the first 6 here in overtime. They've been playing with the lead all overtime long after their biggest lead prior to had been 4.
And it really seems like both teams, it's been a heavyweight fight here. Both teams have swung and landed punches, but the other team has been able to respond well. And MSOE's only down 2. They got a quick bucket. Now you got to play the foul game, and Concordia's got to make them if they want to survive and advance.
Let's go, boys!
Jers fouled by Petrov.
And that's what you have to do. I mean, down 12 seconds, you got to play the foul game. Concordia to shut the door like they did against IIT. They made their free throws at the end to secure the win. Let's see if they can't do it again.
Jers 1 for 2 from the free throw line in this game. 74% free throw shooter on the year. Third foul against Petrov. Best he can do is make it a 3-point game and hope for MSOE out of timeouts. .78-75 timeout Falcons. 30-second timeout.
And Concordia up by 3. And this is the age-old question in basketball. If you're up by 3 with less, but there's 12 seconds on the timer, Matt, do you foul? That's always the age-old question. Do you foul and play the free throw game so the other team doesn't have a chance at shooting a 3? Some people say, if there's over 10 seconds, you don't foul and you let it play out. What do you what do you do? I mean, that's why we're sitting up here and the coaches are down there.
But let me throw this out to you. MSOE is 3 for 13 from downtown.
So you might want to take your chances.
But you know how that tends to work.
But you know how that tends to work is when you, that's like we said, what does the scouting report say? It's playoffs, doesn't matter, anything can happen.
2 out of the 3 3-point makes by guys that are fouled out. Ballard and Lynn. The only active player right now for MSU with a 3-point make, Petrov, who's 1 for 3. Ware on the inbound with 12.6 seconds to go.
Good idea by Concordia. A little ball pressure to make sure they can't just roll it and get an easy look.
Petrov.
Oh, shadow screen.
3 ball. Johnson the rebound. He is fouled with 3.4 seconds to go.
And if you're Concordia, that's a tough shot for Petrov to make. Really a deep 3. MSOE, they were trying to run a little ghost screen for Crimson where it's not quite a ball screen and you quick run off of it, but a great switch by Concordia. That's probably something they talked about in the huddle.
3rd foul against Kermsey. 1 free throw should seal the deal.
And you have your best free throw shooter at the line.
4-point Falcon lead. .4 seconds to go and a chance at MVP for Jordan Johnson. Kermsey. 3 ball. Falcons, your 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament champions. They are headed back to the NCAA tournament. A hard-earned 80-75 overtime championship victory. And the celebration about to begin here inside the John Book Fieldhouse. John, the last time the Falcons were 19-9 as they are right now, they were heading to the 2015 NCAA tournament. A hard-earned victory overcoming a 10-point second half deficit. All momentum with MSOE. The Falcons protecting their home gym will go to the NCAA tournament for the 4th time in program history and for the first time since 2015. What a moment.
What a game for both teams. I mean, MSOE fought extremely hard to get to this moment, to get to this championship. Props to them on a great season and a great tournament run to Coach Miller and his MSOE Raiders. And for Concordia, what a moment. What a fantastic moment for these guys to battle the way that they did and win on their home floor.
8 players played, the 5 starters all in double figures. 23 for Jordan Johnson, 15 for Jared Jers, 15 for Joey Zietlow, 13 for Lake George. Brandon Keller with a double-double for a 2nd consecutive game, 11 points, 10 rebounds. Falcons with their 2nd NACC tournament championship. 4th time they're headed to the big dance. 2000, 2011, 2015, and now 2020. Falcons were down by 5 at halftime, down 10 in the second half. Able to get this game to overtime. They put themselves in control throughout the OT, scoring the first 6, hanging on for the 80-75 victory. And now officially the celebration can begin. Lake George, one of the 4 Falcon seniors who will get at least one more opportunity to sport the Falcon uni.
And it really is special making it to the NACC to the NCAA tournament. I had the pleasure of being able to be on that team that made it for the second time. I was a student manager for the team, and it's just a special thing to be able to go home with this tournament, to be able to experience what the NCAA tournament is like. It's really great to see as an alum from Concordia and this men's basketball program, and all that they've worked towards for this season, to see them hoist the tournament champions trophy and head to the NCAA tournament.
Looking at the history of the Falcons in the Big Dance. Back in 2000, they won the Lake Michigan Conference Tournament Championship. They won 3 road games that year, including a 1-point win in the final at Edgewood, lost in the first round of the NCAA tournament at UW Eau Claire. In 2011, they got in as an at-large. They hosted the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament, lost in the first round against Luther. UW Stevens Point came out of the bracket. And in 2015, winning the NACC Tournament Championship, Falcons who beat MSOE that year in a NACC Tournament quarterfinal, lost in the first round at UW Stevens Point. But a 3rd conference tournament title, 2nd as a member of the NACC, for the Falcon men's basketball squad, who picks up the victory 80-75, upping their record to 19 victories, 9 defeats. They will go to the Big Dance having won 4 consecutive, 6 of 7, 9 of 11. Right now, plenty of pictures being taken. Pretty soon, the ladder will be out. Net will be cut down. Falcons, okay, they've won the conference tournament before, but not here inside the John Book Fieldhouse. An added bonus to quite the run.
And how about this crowd? I mean, you can't say it enough. Being able to win this on their home court with this environment, this atmosphere, pretty much it was like standing room only here. And what energy and what what a game, what an environment. And I can tell you this, they're going to be excited to go wherever they get to go in the NCAA tournament on Monday.
We'll
figure it out, right?
Yep, Monday they will find out. Be sure to check out CUWFalcons.com. More information coming out as far as any potential selection Monday event take place here on campus. Certainly when the announcement is made, it'll be all over the various Concordia social media platforms. We'll be somewhere next week in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Some time at least to catch their breath after another hard-earned victory. What a run. First, a win against Illinois Tech in a tight ball game here on Tuesday, a team they lost to twice during the course of the regular season, including what was a double overtime loss to begin the new year. Then, to beat a very good Wisconsin Lutheran team on their court, it took a 45-point effort by Jordan Johnson, and now here, overcome a 10-point deficit, knocking off MSOE in overtime. Isaiah Tennett, 92 career games played for the dual sport athlete, putting the trophy on the back rim, cutting down the first piece of the net. One of the 4 Falcon seniors who were honored last Saturday when the Falcons pulled off an overtime upset in that game against Benedictine, thanks to a 9-0 run in the last 50 seconds of overtime to win 88-79. Braden Persinger, another senior. When this basketball season ends, he will turn his attention to men's volleyball. For the time being, all he's thinking about is the net and a trip to the NCAA tournament. Nolan Ray, a senior from Kenosha St. Joseph. Next will be Lake George. And George able to score in double figures for a 5th consecutive game. Here's a guy, he's playing like a senior, leaving it all on the floor. John, I think back early November, Panther Arena, Falcons was an exhibition game for them. For UWM, it was their season opener. Falcons held their own, but I remember talking to Coach Cassidy, so many questions surrounding this team. Still, even halfway through, so many questions surrounding this team. I don't think there's any more questions. This team has been able to answer challenge after challenge. They have faced adversity, and they've been able to find ways to get the job done.
And that's just a testament to, I think, the Concordia men's basketball culture as a program, with Coach Cassidy and his entire coaching staff, with the players in the locker room, from the guys who play 40 minutes to the guys who play on the JV team. That's a testament to the whole program. Because as you know, it takes hard work, it takes dedication just to get to a moment like this where you get to cut the net down on your home court.
I will guarantee Queen, we are the champions, never sounded so sweet for the Falcons. Right now.
And this is really just cool to see, just the Concordia family out there with the players, so many Concordia students, faculty, staff, just people associated with the Concordia community and the Concordia family just celebrating with their team. It's really cool to see, and it's so special that they can actually do this on the home court. And, you know, we were both saying it at the beginning of the broadcast, how they got the chance to play this game at home. We both received text messages saying, hey, Concordia gets a home game for the NACC championship. And we were both shocked to get the call to have to announce this game. But obviously, you know, we appreciate the chance, and it's so special that they could do this on the home court. I mean, look at this. Look at this environment. Look at how special it is to be a part of this.
This place jam-packed. What an atmosphere. The noise level maybe can be compared only to when CIT is here in a championship setting. Hard to duplicate, yes. But bravo to the fan base as well for coming out here, the whiteout, and supporting Falcon men's basketball.
And up right now is Joey Zietlow cutting down his net. And on that note, I thought Joey Zietlow played a fantastic ball game. He was really the spark that Concordia needed in the second half and in the overtime.
One by one, I'll tell you, there's a number of guys on this Falcon roster. Last time I counted, there were 26.
There's a whole lot of net to go around, don't worry.
And the thing is okay, not all 26 have played, but every one of these guys has contributed in one way or another, whether it be a practice guy, energy guy. They've all done their part.
Well, and here's the thing. As we look at this roster, and you look at guys like, you know, Lake George, Braden Persinger, Isaiah Tenet, who didn't get to play tonight, but you look at these guys who have grown into seniors. You know, when you come into playing college basketball as a freshman, most of the time you're kind of low man on the totem pole, and you have to work your way into the lineup, work your way into what college basketball is like. And it's so awesome to see the growth, the maturity of this team, of our seniors, and being able to get this moment, you know, to be the first ones to cut down the net. And as we talked about, you know, it starts with everybody. It's the guys who play lots of minutes, it's the guys on the bench, being excited for their teammates, being the first guys out the bench with the high fives. That's just what makes a team. And when you can experience this and celebrate and enjoy it as a team, that's what just makes this really, truly special.
Game that sees the Falcons shoot 45.5% from the field, plus 3 in free throws made, plus 10 in free throws attempted, going 17 of 26. Forced 17 turnovers, committed just 11. Rebounding, MSOE won that battle by 10. Points in the paint, though, Falcons plus 10 at 50-40. And again, all 5 starters in double figures, led by 23 for Jordan Johnson.
And one thing that we pointed out at the halftime break was MSOE's 11 points off second chance. They ended up only getting 4 more in the second half and in overtime, and I thought that was a big difference because they were working hard in the offensive glass. Concordia was able to secure the rebounds a little bit stronger there in the second half and in overtime.
As the net continues to be cut down, we'll step aside briefly. We'll come back, continue with our post-game coverage here from the John Book Fieldhouse. Falcons, your 2020 NACC Men's Basketball Tournament champions. More to come after this commercial break. We'll continue from the John Book Fieldhouse on the Falcon Athletic Network.
We were down by 10.